What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/FatPeopleStories. This story's called Ham Couple Harassed Me at Work. This happened 6 months ago during the summer at work. I waitress at a concert venue. One particular concert, I worked in the indoor VIP bar and lounge because they were short-staffed. Tickets for the lounge are pretty pricey, something I definitely wouldn't be able to afford. People with these tickets had wristbands to get into the lounge. At some point during the night, my supervisor ended up giving out free wristbands. Jupiter and Saturn came barreling in like they belonged there. The concert was Luke Bryan. Ham wife is wearing an American flag tank top dress, walking with a cane, and Ham hubby has one of those oxygen machine things. Sorry, I'm ignorant and don't know how to properly describe them. Anyway, it looked like something straight out of The Hills Have Eyes. Oh boy. I take a deep breath, break out my guest check, grab a menu, and walk straight out into the warfield. The Hams are staring at the menu very intently for a good 10 minutes. Without looking up from the menu, Ham wife says,
"Am I allowed to smoke marijuana in here?"
The venue is outdoors, so we're pretty lenient about that stuff. As in, you're not allowed. But 9 times out of 10, nobody really gives a crap or says anything. However, the lounge is indoors. In my best server voice, "Sorry, ma'am, no, we don't allow it." Ham is huffing and puffing, still locking eyes lovingly with the menu, rereading the fried appetizer section over and over and over again. Under her breath,
"Well, it's a medical condition."
she said it so quietly, I almost didn't hear it. So I chose to pretend I didn't hear it. Ham wife orders a specialty cocktail for her and her husband, who she spoke for all night. Poor guy. The concert starts. The lounge gets super busy, as I mentioned, short staff, along with technical problems with our point of sale. At some point, I had to hop behind the bar and help the bartenders make drinks. Basically, I was running around all night doing my best to cater to guests who were all super nice and tipped really generously. Ham couple began to test my patience. Ham wife and hubby are plopped on the couch, they claimed. I haven't seen them move all night. While I'm walking by, she yells out,
Miss, I need you to go out to one of those stands and get me one of those drinks."
The drink she's talking about is a specialty frozen drink at one particular stand outside of the lounge. I apologize for the inconvenience and tell her I can't leave the lounge to fetch her drink.
"But I see everyone in here carrying those drinks around. Why can't you run out and go get it for me?"
Because, you fat freaking slob! You see me running around in a frenzy trying to take care of everything and everyone in here? Those people with those drinks took the brisk walk out to the freaking stand themselves and bought it. My job is to serve you from the bar! I reiterate to her once again, I'm sorry. It's super busy in here right now and I'm the only waitress. I really can't leave right now to get you the drink. The stand that sells it is only a 5-minute walk away if you want to get one. Ham wife is super unhappy now.
"If you can't get me that drink, I won't tip you a penny. Everyone else has them except us."
I don't have the time to deal with this woman anymore. I apologized profusely and went back to helping the other guests. End of the concert rolls around and Hams in love are pretty drunk. The lounge has slowed down and I'm hanging out behind the bar. A lot of the guests left to go watch the end of the show. This is where crap hits the fan. For the first time since they walked in, I see Ham wife get up from her couch and walk over to me. I walk out from behind the bar and prepare myself. She walks up, super close to me, and grips my wrists with her hands. I am visibly uncomfortable and she is towering over me. She's slurring her words and looks like she's dipping out. Nothing in the world could have prepared me for what she was about to say.
"My husband wants to know if he can have your number."
All the while still holding me, and every time I back away, she just gets closer. I was inching away from her in fear. I look behind her to see her husband staring at me with a straight face, who was super drunk also. I went from really uncomfortable to extremely uncomfortable. I lost all my patience with her. My customer service smile went away. I snatched my hands back away from her and said, "I can serve you drinks and that's it."
Honey, he thinks you're nice. You're a beautiful girl. He wants your phone number.
I'm 19. Please leave me alone unless you want a drink.
You don't want to hang out with us?
I was in a rage now. Really just wanted to kick them the flippity-doo-dah out. But I bit my tongue as hard as I could and went back behind the bar. Hamwife from behind me.
Honey, it was there. He dared me to ask you that.
This woman was well in her 50s. Everything about these people was just off. Hamwife returns to the couch where her and her ham hubby proceed to nearly penetrate each other in a steamy makeout sesh during Late Again. I can't make this crap up. Some guest sitting at the bar commented to me how creepy they were and how it was messed up I had to deal with them and that they should be kicked out. I concur. End of the night, while everyone is leaving, Hamwife returns to apologize for her dare and gives me one more chance to take her up on her offer. I say no thank you and lied about having a boyfriend. I wanted nothing more than for these people to leave me the fire truck alone and never come back. She leaves me a $2 tip. Wowza. Yo, ham lady is wild. She's in a lounge and she's asking if she can smoke weed. And then she's even more wild when she asks the freaking server for her number for her husband. That's what? Maybe if she was like 30, 40-ish years younger, then I'd be like, ayo, hit me up. Everything else was just weird. I feel bad for OP though, because I could tell she was really uncomfortable with that situation. And rightfully so. That is incredibly weird. Alright, so this story's called Walmart Scooter Not Strong Enough to Make It Up to the Entrance. I am Canadian, and I've moved to the deep south of backwoods South Georgia. I thought most of you Americans were exaggerating with 99% of your workplace stories, but I guess some stereotypes exist for a reason. After nearly 8 months here, I had seen enough to fill a bingo card, except a planet tantrum. Until today! Hooray! So after a rough day, I'm out running errands in a nearby town. There's some mark on the highway, barely big enough for a full-sized Walmart. As I finish up in the store, I step out into the miserable, muggy rainstorm that's somehow hot and cold at the same time. Oh my god, I hate those! To realize I was parked clear on the other side, I start my grouchy power walk through the rain, across the even mile of storefront, only to have my eye caught by a man, at least 400 pounds, if not more, power walking as hard as he could across the sidewalk while hiking up his gravity-seeking sweats. I think half his butt was hanging out. Before I could even process the random bum, I heard a wailing screech. A car moved on, revealing that the man was rushing for a much larger woman perched on a store scooter. She was paddling at the pavement with her feet and yanking the handlebars back and forth as the scooter inched backwards down the slight incline from pavement to curb, hollering the whole while. It took me a second, but through the accent, I finally figured out she was screaming,
"It won't go! It just goes backwards! It won't go! It just goes backwards! It won't go! It just goes backwards!"
I love this sub. Obviously, I watched so I could bring this to you. The first man finally reaches her and grabs the scooter like he's saving her life, screaming that he's got her as if she's hanging off the Grand Canyon. She starts violently sobbing as a young tiny teenage employee rushes in to help her. Between sobs, the woman wails pieces of the problem out.
"It's broken! It won't go! It beeped!
It's the voice, man.
It beeped at me! I can't make it go!"
At this point, a second man, as large as the first, joins the group. He gets in the employee's face and asks what the problem is. The poor young girl just stutters that she's not sure and looks around helplessly. I'm behind her. The only other nearby or within easy earshot person is a Hispanic man with an epic mustache trying to eat his lollipop in peace. American Walmart, bud, for real. edited to add, security and faraway employees actually just watched from around the parking lots.
Y'all need to push me!
The woman screams at the teeny tiny teenage girl. Yeah, you need to push her. Yeah, go on and push her. Why are these people screaming? The employee just shakes her head and says, can you maybe get up just for 2 steps and I can push the scooter?
I can't! No!
She can't. Yeah, go and push her. The girl is kind of frozen in place with a whole box trailer load of people staring at her like she can physically move them. I can call someone to help you up to get a new one.
Okay, walk!
I can't do it, I'm sorry. Feet kicking and handlebar sighing. She kind. Took her job. In her desperate area search, the employee finally turns toward me. I just start walking. Her entire face screams, help me. I feel terrible, but I cannot help. I will not insert myself in this. Once you get in, you never get out. And I'll be damned if I was gonna try to push at least 500 pounds uphill. I can't save this girl. I give her a silent apology and walk between the chaos taking up the entire road and sidewalk. Between 3 waddlers, the employee, and Lollipop Man, there was no room for cars to drive and no sidewalk for people to walk. As I darted through the chaos, Scooter Lady tried to speak with me. We met eyes. Rookie mistake, I know. Her arm, as wide as my torso, reached out towards me as she screamed,
I need someone to push me! Help, I'm stuck!
I pointed to my ear, shook my head, and jogged off to find my husband. I am usually all for helping out strangers, and I still kinda feel like a jerk for running, but today was not the day, my friends. The end. Edit. Now, this isn't at all related, but I always, endearingly, poke fun at my husband about Georgia because Georgians have this weirdly intense pride and love-hate relationship with their state. I mean, I've spent 4-month-long stretches in Texas, and even Texas pride doesn't seem to outshine Georgia pride. The funny thing is that it's totally showing up in this thread with all of these Georgia represent comments. I love it! Okay, this story was incredibly hilarious. I enjoyed it. Thank you for sharing, OP. And, I've been to Georgia for a little bit. I'm not sure how long, because, like, okay, so my experience with Georgia is when I was visiting family there when I was a little kid, okay? But, you know, when you go on vacations as a kid, you legit feel like they last forever, okay? Like, I legit used to think that, like, when I would visit my mom in the summers or something like that, like, I would be gone for, like, a year or something, and then I'd come back, and then... Actually, if I'm being honest, I don't think I had a real concept of years. Like, we'd be in school, and we'd be saying the date, and I'd be like, what is this? What are these numbers? And why does the 2000 one get bigger? But, like, it takes so long. Like, I didn't know what the date was. And this was, like, all the way up until, like, the beginning of 3rd grade. I was an idiot. I'm kidding. I mean, I was a pretty smart little kid, but I just didn't know the dates. I didn't know. I legit... That's the freaking education system failing right there. Boom. And my parents probably could have taught me, but it's just not something you really think about. How is this related? Oh, Georgia. Oh, wait. I don't really know anything about Georgia because I was a little kid. My uncle lived on a military base. I visited him. He'd go dumpster diving at Kmart because they throw out some like fully packaged Halloween stuff, and it was so cool. And it was a fun time. Peaches are pretty good there. Then again, peaches are good. And in Pakistan, the peaches are good. The fruit are really good in Pakistan in general. I'm talking a lot. All right, this story's called "My Workmate is Trying to Curb His Son's Unhealthy Eating Habits." So this is my workmate story that he told me last week that occurred last month. I'll try to describe it as well as he did. He's a slightly sensitive but sweet person to be around, and hella funny. His child's class was having a bring a plate in parents picnic, and there was said in the notice that the food will serve all attending parents and children, and so that meant you had to make a considerable amount. Well, my workmate brought a pot of really delicious beef and vegetable soup. There was Planet Mother and her almost Planet Kid, and they brought a heck ton of chicken nuggets from Mickey D's. Buddy, it's Mickey, like Mickey Mouse, and then D's. Like, yeah, it's fine. As soon as they arrive, Planet Mother helps her herself to some food, even before everyone was thinking of getting any. Some adults have already greeted her and tried to make conversation, but she made it clear to them in a rude way that she was starved and needed food right then and there, and told Almost Planet Kid to go and play and left her. There was a good number of parents and kids, around 12 adults, at the time she arrived. She gets 40% of a cheesy lasagna that filled a 150 square centimeter pan, makes herself 2 large hot dogs, and takes a shovel full of fries. Out of the 30 boxes of chicken nuggets she bought, she empties like 4 on her plate. Anything with vegetables she avoids. At this point, while she's getting food, the other adults are sneaking glances, and my workmate is looking with disapproval. Almost Planet Kid looks at her mother and the plate and starts complaining that she's hungry as well and is told to serve herself because she's a big girl now. My workmate, seeing Almost Planet Kid struggling to get some beef and vegetable soup, goes to help her, with another look of disapproval at Planet Mom. The highlight of this story is when it's time for the children to eat, and all the children are there by that time. The parents are helping the children to get food, and my workmate's child, who's getting almost as big as Almost Planet Kid, just 10 or so kilograms to go, has their plate full. He asks his dad if he can get some more and starts whining a bit, but stops when he's told off by his father. Planet Mother notices this and scolds him a bit, saying something along the lines of,
Let him eat what he wants. Don't deprive him, or he'll grow up like a skinny beanstalk.
My workmate usually gets encouragement from other workmates and advice about his child's unhealthy eating habits, eating excess, and etc. So this was new to him. Nevertheless, he had something really important to say. He straightened up, looked at her squarely in the eye, and said, his voice a little shaky, I'm not gonna bury my child 20 or 30 years later due to obesity-related diseases, because he's the only family I have now, and I'm not gonna live the rest of my life alone. Around that age, I had to bury my father for the same health reasons, and I don't want to be lonely like that again. This kid, he can make friends and start a family, but for me, well, it's just me. And don't tell me how to raise my child. They had caught the attention of a lot of the other parents, who really didn't know what to say, but my workmate could tell who they sympathized with. If Planet Mother had shut up, that would have been the end of that. But guess frickin' what? She said to my workmate in a quiet, not so quiet, mean voice,
Don't make this about you.
She didn't want to lose the argument, most likely. Honestly, I was so triggered when I heard this, you guys have no idea. At this point, some of the other parents stepped in to take his side, but the teacher comes in to break it up. Planet Mother left shortly after to spare herself further embarrassment, and Almost Planet Kid left whining because she wanted to play more. I think it's really sad how she puts her own appetite and pride before her child's enjoyment. My workmate's child has healthier eating habits now and is on his way to having a normal BMI for his age. Heyo, if you're letting your child's unhealthy eating habits slide or are overlooking them, I'd like you to think about what my workmate said. Okay, with that out of the way, I am really hoping not to see this kind of behavior in person. Jeez, okay. Wow. Planet Mom, no chill. Like, damn, she's got a hot temper. Guess that's what happens when you're so insulated. I'm joking, but yeah, I don't know, that's just really concerning, for her kid, dude. Jeez, man. Jeez. Like, y'all realize that kid is growing up, learning her eating habits from her mother, who obviously has no self-control when it comes to anything, really, as you can see. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.